All right, Lenny. We little technical snafu. But
What words of advice does
we're gonna try this again with our good friend General Patton.
Remember
All right, we'll be right back
that
now.
no bastard ever won war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country. Men, all this stuff you've heard about America not wanting to fight, wanting to stay out of the war, is a lot of horse dung. Americans traditionally love to fight. All real Americans love the sting of battle. When you were kids, you all admired the champion marble shooter, the fastest runner, big league ball players, the toughest boxers. Americans love a winner and will not tolerate a loser. Americans play to win all the time. I wouldn't give a hoot in hell for a man who lost and laughed. That's why Americans have never lost and will never lose a war. Because the very thought of losing is hateful to Americans. Now, an army is a team. It lives, eats, sleeps, fights as a team. This individuality stuff is a bunch of crap. The bilious bastards who wrote that stuff about individuality for the Saturday Evening Post don't know anything more about real battle than they do about fornicating. Now, we have the finest food and equipment, the best spirit, and the best men in the world. You know, by God, I actually pity those poor bastards we're going up against. By God, I do. We're not just going to shoot the bastards. We're going to cut out their living guts and use them to grease the treads of our tanks. We're going to murder those lousy Hun bastards by the bushel. Now, some of you boys, I know, are wondering whether or not you'll chicken out under fire. Don't worry about it. I can assure you that you will all do your duty. The Nazis are the enemy. Wade into them. Spill their blood. Shoot them in the belly. When you put your hand into a bunch of goo that a moment before was your best friend's face, you'll know what to do. Now, there's another thing I want you to remember. I don't want to get any messages saying that we are holding our position. We're not holding anything. Let the Hun do that. We are advancing constantly, and we're not interested in holding on to anything except the enemy. We're going to hold on to him by the nose, and we're going to kick him in the ass. We're going to kick the hell out of him all the time, and we're going to go through him like crap through a goose. Now, there's one thing that you men will be able to say when you get back home. And you may thank God for it. 30 years from now, when you're sitting around your fireside with your grandson on your knee, and he asks you, what did you do in the Great World War II? You won't have to say, well, I shoveled shit in Louisiana. All right, now you sons of bitches, you know how I feel. I will be proud to lead you wonderful guys into battle anytime, anywhere.
I don't know what's going on, Lenny. There's some crazy stuff going on with.
are we back yet?
Yeah, we're back. There's some crazy
Sounds like
stuff
General
going.
General Pat.
Look like he got into a room full of helium or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they wrapped that up quick.
I don't know what.
Like, all right, you bastards. All right, you bastards, I'm out.
Somebody's off on the side curtain pointing at their watch to him, and he's like, speed things up.
Yeah, you know what he did? We did that to him. He points at his pearl-handled 6-shooters on the side.
That's right.
See your watch? I see your watch. You see these guns?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. If we get some bugs or gremlins in our broadcasting software, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Wow, that's a movie I haven't seen in forever.
Patton?
No,
Gremlins.
I seen Patton kind of recently. You know what I want to do? I want to read Patton's autobiography.
Who wrote it?
I don't know.
Yeah. That was too easy.
So he just got, if you don't point it out, it's very it'll be as subtle and funnier.
Yeah, I know, but it was too obvious. You know what I watched today? Not the full thing because I get bored with it. What Jack and I got on Netflix and we started watching Planet of the Apes, the original.
Oh, is that celebrate Memorial Day?
Yeah, no, it was just on there.
Celebrate Memorial Day
with the apes, yeah.
The veteran of the Charlton Heston, veteran of the Ape Wars.
That's right. You know that was rated G. I don't know if they re-rated it or if it was originally rated G. But it had nudity in it, and I thought that was kind of strange for a G-rated movie to have nudity. I thought it was kind of strange to have nudity at all in the movie. It was kind of.
Was there nudity?
Yeah, all three of the astronauts got naked and went skinny dipping.
Well, you saw their butt, right?
So I mean, you kind of could see.
You didn't see
it was
the
FFN.
FFN.
It was a fleeting glance of junk, but still, it was kind of.
Well, John, in reality, everybody's got.
No, I know, but I'm saying
everybody pees.
I know, Lenny, but in 1968, a G-rated movie, a butt would at least get you a PG. Probably, I'm thinking more like an R.
What do you remember? You remember Airplane has boobs in it.
That was R, wasn't it?
No, it's rated PG.
But also, Airplane was like 1980 something, wasn't it?
Planet
of the Apes was 68. Airplane, I think, was like 1980 at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of shocked me. I didn't remember it being in there, and kind of surprised me. And also the overall cheesiness of the movie.
What?
No, it was just. I never thought Charlton Heston was a very good actor.
Cornelius.
That scene where they.
It's a madhouse. It's a madhouse. I'd say that at home when my parents would tell me something to do.
When they jump out of the spaceship, and they swim across they jump into the water and they paddle across to the land, and they walk up the mountain thing.
Yeah.
And they standing there, and I forgot what somebody did. Somebody did something, and he started laughing, and it's like this bizarre, like psychotic laugh.
Okay.
And he just starts laughing and keeps going like way too long, and it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable. It made me think of Bowling for Columbine when he was doing his interview with Michael Moore.
Yeah.
And like halfway into the video, or actually more towards the end, he had no idea who Michael Moore was.
Yeah, he had dementia at the time.
Yeah, and it was all of a sudden he realized that Michael Moore was like basically anti-guns.
The enemy?
Yeah. It's like all of a sudden, like he'd been slamming him for 5-10 minutes, and then all of a sudden it like dawned on him that, and then he promptly escorted him out of the house. It was kind of that bizarre, uncomfortable feeling I got when he was doing that laugh.
Speaking of our primate ancestors, I was watching, as a matter of fact, on Netflix, I was watching some TED Talks. Have you seen those?
No.
I guess there's somebody come up with some money to do symposiums, and they give money to these guys and give like scientists like 15 minutes to talk. And they were talking about, Neanderthal man and ancient Homo.
It's an abomination, Lenny. I won't talk about it.
Homo sapiens. And, it was kind of interesting.
Now, let me ask you something before we go into this. You're fairly religious, right, Lenny?
I'd say so.
Somewhat. Now, Neanderthal man, most of the religious people I've talked to, I don't know if they're just religious people, but the people that, I don't know, what do you call it, where they closely follow the Bible?
Fundamentals.
Fundamentalists, I guess that's a good word. Yeah, believe that like the Earth's only like 10,000 years old.
Yeah.
What's your position on that?
You know what? I don't. Those are things like that. I don't trouble myself with like. Uh, um, I mean, you could see small like bits of evolution here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trouble myself with trying to fit all the blocks together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously dinosaurs are real.
But does the 10,000 year scale make sense to you, or do
No,
you
that
think
doesn't make
millions?
sense.
Okay.
I'm thinking. I mean, you know, people. I've spoken before about how people have longer lifespans, and I don't know. It's just it's not. I mean, there's evidence of certain stuff. You know, I don't. I don't know the answer. I don't.
Well, it just doesn't. I mean, one thing that doesn't make sense to me is like fossils. Dinosaurs or not, there's fossils of all kinds, plants, regular animals, and it just seems like 10,000 years. It takes longer than that.
Yeah.
To make to turn something.
Well, just in the strata, you can prove that. I mean, the strata, you know, it's longer than that, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. It just seems like there's like you get three groups of people that just really don't care that much about it, and then you get people that are so adamant that it's 10,000 years old, they spend a good part of their lives like trying to prove it to everybody else. Then you get the other group on the other end is so adamant that it's millions of years old. They spend all their time trying to prove that to the other group.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I saw a funny cartoon. You know, atheists. Obviously, you know, it was an atheist having sex. It was a dude sweating on top of a girl, and and it was just kind of a funny cartoon. And it says, you know, it has him saying, "Oh, the scientific method, math," and you know, as you can imagine, that's funny. That's pretty funny.
That's funny stuff.
Yeah, I saved that picture. It made me laugh so much. But you know, it's not something that I just don't.
You don't think about that much?
Yeah, I don't think about it that much. I think there's definitely rooms. There's holes enough in the theories. There's unexplained things that you know, I can't. I mean, I just think we as people don't have the ability to figure it out yet. I mean, they said, anyways, in this one TED Talk, talked about the difference between modern man and people in Africa on the genome scale is very little, right? But that's in modern Africa right now. So we're all Africans. That's kind of what the guy was saying. That wasn't his point. There's actually a Neanderthal man.
I'm actually African American. Thank you.
Now you can get all the benefits. That's C-Dub, the guy from Kenya. He's like, no, I'm African.
African.
Yeah. So I said, I always ask him if he drives it like the war. He's got a real nice Audi. I said, "Do you drive it like the warlords are after you?" we all get a kick out of that.
He still doesn't find the gold-plated gun jokes funny, does he?
Gold-plated AK, no. We say he's saving money for a militia back home to become king, reinstall his take his rightful place as king of Kenya.
You tell him to quit spending all his money on guns and buy some food for his people.
Kenya's a pretty modern place. No,
I know.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because everybody there has like Christian surnames. Like his brother, his brother named Simon, and he has a brother named Jeffrey. His last name's Wanina. You know, like just some crazy guy.
He's not one of the Judds.
Exactly. So, anyways, so back to my point. So Neanderthals were suspected to inhabit the southern portion of Asia, or Eurasia portion, and somewhere in the Caucasus areas, they intermingled with the Homo sapiens, and somewhere a little bit further eastward, they found evidence of another type of peoples, and they're just kind of crazy. But oddly enough, those people were less intermixed, and that